G'day, mate. So I know I make this look absolutely effortless. That it just looks like I just roll out of bed and I just start live streaming and that's just how it works here. But that's just how it looks, mate. Look, and I'm being fair dinkum with you, all right? Not being some bloody dago. And there's a whole team. There's a whole team behind this show, mate. I got 22 producers. I got a makeup artist and an esthetician. I got a stylist. I got people who shop for these clothes that I wear. They're constantly like testing them, focus group testing to see which clothing resonates the most with my demographic. I spend probably 50% of my super chats, fair dinkum, on just makeup, hair, styling. Then I got my personal trainer, right? I just don't roll out of bed, start live streaming. I mean, these shows are meticulously planned over months. I got a whiteboard. I showed you my whiteboard on the show tonight, and we get together with the team. You know what? 50% of what we do is for the show, but the other 50% is just like building up the team, right? And making sure we're all on board. We got a program director. There, a dozen companion animals behind the camera. We got tigers and lions and emus and bloody wombats and kangaroo and a dingo and a baby. All right, it takes a village to produce these live streams, and I know it just looks effortless. I know it looks like, oh look, he's just like rolling out of bloody bed and then you think that you think I'm just bloody sit back and play clips of other people's work, and you think, oh, it's just so effortless. Yeah, I mean, it's like the bloody president standing arms folded just off camera. I mean, can you imagine the stress that I'm under to like rate this highly? My ratings are through the roof, and I know I make it look effortless. It looks like I just kind of wandered into my room and turned on the camera and then just start playing other people's work, and play clips here and play a podcast there, and then I go out and I may put my laundry in, and then I bloody go put my laundry in the dryer. Then I take a nice walk around the block, step out for a bit of dinner, catch a movie, and I put on a different podcast. Just kind of sit back, watch the super chats roll in. But that's just illusion, mate. I mean, because the good ones, they make it look effortless, right? Like the real seasoned broadcast professionals, such as myself, mate. We just make these things look effortless. I know you think, oh, Luke's just lying back on the floor. He's under the covers and he's playing some bloody Victor Davis Hanson. Then he's going to play some bloody John Mearsheimer. And then he's going to play some bloody podcast with some former Christian, chickie who's now an atheist and really interested in social dynamics. And he'll just bloody let the podcast run for 15 minutes while he takes a shower. And then he's just going to come back and he's going to read the chat, and he's just going to repeat the juicy bits from the chat, and then he's going to check in with Twitter. Then he's just going to read like random, completely unrelated Twitter posts, get some videos off of Twitter, and just start playing them. I mean, there's a whole bloody team of broadcast professionals who make this look just so effortless. But I mean, I start my day with a bloody cold shower, mate. Fair dinkum. Dinky die, Aussie. Cold shower, and then taking my protein drink and slamming my supplements, getting onto my 12-step meeting. I got a whole team of mental health professionals backing me up. Like always checking in on my equilibrium. making sure I don't get too high, don't get too low, don't get too reactive, don't get too passive. Like I've got these like top-notch psychiatrists, constantly adjusting my medications, the antipsychotics, the uppers, the downers. Then I've got the depth psychologists, to really get into like the deep stuff. I got the psychodynamic therapist who, helps me to repair, what went wrong with my upbringing. Yeah, shout out to co-researcher Tucker Carlson, who's always lurking in the chat. I mean, then I got the primal scream therapist. I got a whole team, mate, of mental health professionals who back up this show, that enable me to produce this high quality whack work. Okay, I mean, I just don't roll out of bed and just start live streaming with whatever random thought runs through my head. This is all scripted, and it's run through focus groups. See how people respond, particularly targeted demographics, right? We're trying to hit a particular demographic, right? We've got we're aimed at the 34 to 59-year-old male audience. Like no Sheilas allowed for this stream, so we have to produce a certain type of material that effectively reaches our chosen demographic. And then I got one producer, all she does is monitor the super chats. All she does. She's supporting a husband and 3 kids on that. Yeah, Sheila's muck up a stream, mate, with a whole lot of feelings. Don't need that. Like, the Sheilas are fine for monitoring my super chats. My esthetician's a Sheila. My bloody makeup artist is a Sheila, mate. My personal trainer is a Sheila. My psychodynamic psychotherapist is a Sheila. Okay, so I got naught against Sheilas, mate. Sheilas are fine in their place, but you don't want them, slopping over with their messy feelings all over our intense live stream chat, right? We're not just building a show here. We're building a social revolutionary movement, right? So I got producers who are just like directing this movement, right? Who are just what's that called? They're interfacing, with the White House, with the Trump campaign, with the leading gedolim, the leading rabbis, the most important preachers and priests, the imams are in the know with the Assad regime in Syria, with Bibi Netanyahu and the leader of the opposition, Gantz. And so there's a team. It takes a village. Some of the village are Sheilas. Some of the village are bloody Abos. And all sorts of supplementation, right? You think I can just like roll out of bed and like just eat Wheat Bix and Vegemite and do these shows? Yeah, I could have Prime Minister Bibi on the show any time I need to, but I don't just roll out of bed and put some Vegemite on a cracker and eat some Wheat Bix, and you think that gives me the sustenance to produce these high quality streams? No, I got all these supplements that I need to take, and I just don't, just can't pop them in any old way. There's a certain order. Okay, it's Kabbalistic. Like, it has to be aligned with, all my chakras, and the supplements have to be taken in a special order. And you bloody, you don't bloody drink essential water after 2 p.m., right? Don't drink essential water after 2 p.m. You won't sleep right, mate. And don't drink the essential water within an hour of eating, while you're eating, or for 2 hours after you're eating, because it'll bloody wreck your digestion system. It'll throw the whole pH balance out of whack. And so your stomach will get flooded with acid trying to, undo the alkaline. Okay? Okay? So like, you got to know when to drink the Essentia, when to let it go. You got to know when to pound it and when to run. You never drink your Essentia when you're sitting at the table, because there'll be time enough for Essentia when the dealing's done. So we've got our demographic, right? We know our audience. It's like 34 to 59-year-old men, all right? And then we got a plan for how to speak to our audience, and then we're situating ourselves in the whole market, right? So I'm not just like live streaming, into the void. Like there are other live streams going on right now. So I'm always looking at, okay, Lady Gaga's going to town. How can I own that? Okay, how can I be the place to go for Lady Gaga information, right? So I know there are other streams out there. There's Kevin Michael Grace puts on a very high quality professional show. Excellent format, very very powerful show. There's the MPI Radix, Richard Spencer, Edward Dutton crew. There's JF Garapi and Cotto Gottfried. And so before I do a bloody stream, right, I'm thinking, what are these other blokes going to be doing? I don't want to do anything like that. And then I just start brainstorming, like, what are some things that I can't do? Okay, I can't murder any witches. Okay, I can't, kiss any crosses. There are all these things that I can't do. But then as I just keep brainstorming, what can I do? What can I do? Then it's like, oh, that would be rich, mate. Oh, yeah, and I've got to go up against high IQ Andy Warski, right? So I'm tuning into the competition. I'm staying up with the direction that they're flowing in, so that I can produce this like unique content. It's like specially micro targeted at my audience, and I got to know, like, where am I? Where am I in this overall ratings game, right? I'm not coming in there number one, right? I've got, like, when I'm streaming live, I'm in the top 10,000 live streams. So I gotta stay in my lane and realize that I'm really aiming for the scholarly crowd. My demographic is university professors at the most elite institutions: Harvard, Yale, University of Chicago, Stanford, Cal. Right? If you're not really going to those universities, you're not really in my demographic, and I'm not creating for today. Today's bloody April 13th, 2020. I mean, I'm creating for history, right? I mean, when people discover these shows, they're going to want to go back and watch every single one that I've done. So I got this whole team. We've got all this work put into each show. It's like finely tuned, right? So that it has like an eternal quality. Like people can watch these shows 40 years from now and they'll get just as much out of them as you're getting right now. I mean, these shows just kind of float away from the news of the day. These shows are not bound by the newspaper. These shows don't depend on the headlines. These shows belong in eternity. They're transcendent. They kind of float up to the never never. Yeah. There's like 2 lifetimes of videos that I produced. Once people get hooked, they're gonna want to check it all out. Now, time's limited, so they'll probably want to run it at 1.5. So yeah, I know I make it look easy, mate, but it's so tuned in, man. It's like focus tested. It's all built in to produce a very high quality product that the effect kind of goes beyond words. It's just like tapping into the most primal parts of your being. So what an incredible Better Call Saul tonight. Did you watch that? It was bloody 59 minutes without commercials. I mean, on the edge of your seat. I mean, what's up with that Kim Wexler? Did she blow you away in the last few minutes? Wow. And so I've also been watching The Bureau. It's a French show about spy agency in Spain, and I think I've watched many episodes, and hasn't even been a shooting yet. I think I'm like 6 episodes in, and no one's gotten shot. But hearing a lot of good things about Banshee. I hear it's just filled with sex and violence. So sounds like a top show. Not sure if it's really right for this audience and for the spiritual plane that we're all living on right now, because we're spiritual beings who have we also have a physical existence in this earthly realm, but what we really got here is a spiritual experience that's going on here, mate, and that's why I'm creating for eternity.